Hi, this is Cajun, and it's time for a weekly conference call. On global markets, it looks like the COVID-19 pandemic is resulting in localized spikes. And I know many are tired of hearing about COVID-19, but this does connect to the markets. It connects to our local markets, international and global markets, and of course crypto markets. The Dow retraced by 2,000 points, and that's a pretty good retrace these days. That happened on June 10th through 11th, and we'll get to that in just a second. On the industry side, natural language processing, data sets, things continue to heat up. We're observing new opportunities, and that really results in new products for us. And the applications that we're finding are resulting from the data that's being generated every day related to the pandemic and other infectious diseases and new drug repurposing efforts. It's interesting to note what happened during the Spanish flu. If anyone has time, they can do a little research there. Find out how many new industries or what impact the pandemic had in a positive way related to resulting industries and products. On the crypto side, we're looking at a retrace in cryptos because cryptos are correlated, at least recently, to a retrace in the traditional markets based on the COVID-19 cases increasing or spiking. From June 10th to the 11th, the traditional spiked down over 2K from 27K to 25K, and crypto was correlated to that. We've noticed a downtrend in BTC. I should just say a spike, a 24-hour spike of about 800 points, from 9,800 to 9,200, about 700 points from the previous close on the 11th to the low of 9,263. On the engineering side, everything is operating at the speed of engineering or our customers. Most of what is happening in our company relates to engineering, and that's a very important factor for everyone to understand. Most of what we say and do and talk about relates to an engineering effort supporting that new functionality or that new customization or even internal processes that we want to automate. And this also goes for scientific efforts. So when we look at maybe new research that's coming out, we might want to validate something, we might want to duplicate results in a scientific paper based on the software, the mathematics, then we're going to want to definitely underpin that with engineering efforts, and that's just the name of the game in terms of the industry and the opportunity we face. On the corporate side, we're looking to create a little bit of flywheel momentum in various areas of the company, and that includes building teams and groups that can operate autonomously on their own and with their own resources and ability to execute. Delegation is the name of the game as we scale this company. So we want a well-oiled machine here with gears running nicely and basically a self-sustaining golden goose. On the customers, partners, and collaborators side, we are working with CERN quite a bit in terms of understanding what they need related to the data set efforts we have, and we'll be updating the public with that, not just based on conference calls here, but we'll be issuing a press release related to that in conjunction with CERN soon. Can't tell you a date yet, and even if we had a date, we wouldn't mention the exact date. On the LCX side, we have a signed MOU back from LCX, so we'll be issuing a joint PR. LCX has a PR on their side. We actually owe them copy. We're still working on copy related to smart baskets and describing how smart baskets work, the way that they're generated without divulging too many proprietary aspects. We're also going to be talking about smart baskets in relation to LCX when we have journalists such as Alpha Week talk about us. So we're going to be jointly developing a few different products, not just smart baskets, but strategies and products related to generating revenue. On the product side, I have a note here related to the COVID-19 basket performance. We don't have figures for that yet. We're still making a few observations based on subcategories or subgroups, subsectors within the basket that are spiking based on recent events. We're deciding whether or not we include a year-to-date performance of this COVID basket. Typically, with smart baskets, we have just 3 to 4 days of a holding position. It's like a swing trade. So for longs, for example, we hold 3 days. For shorts, we hold 4 days. But you can hold a month, you can hold a week, you can hold 6 months, depending on the trend or the global event. If the global event is a global pandemic, you might want to think about holding longer than 3 or 4 days. We'll have basket performance related to works and the COVID-19 basket in just a few days here. We're working on the article with Alpha Week, and it connects heavily to that. On the legal side, we are preparing a legal opinion, finally, again, after a few events here have taken place. We have a legal opinion in process from a new law firm. We were using a law firm pre-pandemic to investigate what it would take to get a legal opinion. They were a Russian firm that is no longer in business. So we're now using a new firm. We've provided that firm with all the details related to the tokenomics of what we do and network utility, along with schematics and diagrams, and so far they have everything they need, and it looks like legal opinions are still needed to list on large exchanges, so we're simply preparing for that concurrently with a bunch of other things here. On the sales and marketing side, we have a team of 3 people that are focusing on bringing in business, and our focus is not on advertising like we had mentioned last week. It is on onboarding current customers we have in the pipeline, and that includes reaching out on a case-by-case basis and structuring calls and dialogue so that we suss out customizations we can apply across the board and cookie cut. And of course, quickest path to revenue. On the IR and Marcom side, we've got the PRs coming up with LCX and Alpha Week. And we don't have a date on Alpha Week. We are getting a date. And we're not going to announce the exact date, but we will publish it when they publish. We also have a segment this week related to questions from the trader base. And this will be a regular segment. The first question is, will a written announcement also be made this week? This is kind of a general question. We're guessing that this relates to the announcement with S&P Global. And we anticipate an announcement this week or next. The update on S&P Global is related to negotiating concessions at this point, and that means that they typically charge $25,000 for U.S. markets, all financial information related to U.S. markets. They charge $50,000 for global markets, and they decided to waive that fee and build in a few more concessions. So we're just negotiating as much as we can with them, considering that they are a potential suitor, because they have acquired companies in our space and have brought that up in dialogue. So we're just making sure that we are grooming everything properly here. And timing is one of them. The next question, I read that the smart baskets will be exclusively developed for LCX. Is this a good strategy? Why exclusive for LCX? I can imagine more companies would like to use smart basket technology. That's a very valid question. And smart basket technology comes in many different forms, many different kinds. They're based on data sets. Every smart basket has an associated data set. Every data set can be used to generate a cluster or a smart basket. A cluster can be renamed as a smart basket. These data sets have billions of permutations. So if a single data set or a class of data sets or a category of data sets supports a particular group of smart baskets or smart basket technology, then we can certainly make that exclusive. We have a lot of experience negotiating patents and transfer technology from a variety of organizations, commercial and government, and licensing is included in that. The commercialization of technology and science and technology from all kinds of organizations are what we're familiar with, and we are in process of negotiating a variety of exclusive licenses related to aspects of our technology. And that's balanced with whether or not we want to patent or keep things as trade secrets. The next question, can the team provide a clear update of the current status of the pending PR with Amazon, Microsoft, S&P Global, etc.? Yes, we can. They are in process, and that's all that we can say right now. The next question is there some clarity on the daily movements from the main team wallet? And is there a breakdown of how much VXV the team wallet plans to keep in reserve? So, looking at a team wallet, a team wallet is a way for a company, a crypto company, to raise capital in the capital markets. That's how the capital markets work. A crypto is a trading vehicle. It's exposed to global capital markets, very similar to a stock. In our case, VXV is a utility token credit. And acquiring VXV allows access to data sets. What that means is that as a crypto company, our customers, which include anyone that acquires VXV, result in either revenue for the company or operating capital for the company. So when we allocate blocks of VXV to any group, and we will be allocating blocks to VCs or angel investors in the future, these blocks represent capital that this company uses to grow and grow value, and that includes stakeholder value. That's how that works. And we'll be keeping as much VXV in reserve as we need to. That's the answer to that. We're also going to be buying back as much VXV as we possibly can. We want to be holding as much VXV as we possibly can. The lion's share. That's just the way that it works. We value VXV more so than any other group we know of. And we want to hold as much as possible. And of course, capital is used to generate revenue, which in turn is used to add to the valuation of the entire operation. The next question, DeFi is the big hype currently in the blockchain space. Could we see DeFi protocols using vectorspace datasets and smart baskets for financial products in the future? Absolutely. Next question, if the VectorspaceAI team is focused on interaction and cooperation with multi-million-dollar companies, then why gather ordinary crypto investors here and provide them with information and give hopes and promises? Well, first off, we're not focused on interactions with multi-million-dollar companies. We're focused on interactions with multi-trillion-dollar companies or trillion-dollar companies and multi-billion-dollar companies. And most of them are publicly traded with nice size market caps and trader bases, by the way, that would be interested in trading VXV. So why communicate to the public? The answer will be found in your review of the definition for the of IR, or investor relations. Next question, what will the main application of these products be for companies and investors? So both companies and investors have access to data sets here. We provide data sets to most industries. Data sets are also used to generate smart baskets for retail trading along with institutions. The next question, long baskets were discarded due to COVID, making it not viable. But we are currently seeing retail investors making a killing with Robinhood, buying bankrupt companies. Would this new environment make long baskets not far more attractive than short baskets? This is a really good set of questions. The first reason is because anytime you see someone making money based on buying Chapter 11 plays, bankrupt companies, they're making it by chance. I know that for a fact because we had a family office in the past that used to play Chapter 11 companies. And even if they are trading above book value, don't let that fool you. They can still go bankrupt. The reason I mention that is we've learned from a mistake in the past based on losing a lot on a couple of bankrupt plays. So don't play them. They're not worth it. You're taking a chance. It's a gamble every time. Or at least don't bet the farm. So when you look at long baskets and they're not being something we are focused on right now, let's first go back a little bit here. We started generating long smart baskets for the crypto markets. The crypto markets crashed. Retail trading dries up. So we decided to move into data sets for every industry because data sets are actually what are powering smart baskets. Then we had an economic crash like no other. When you have a spike down in the markets and you've got a lot of savvy traders out there and investors understanding that we're in for an extended downturn, you're not going to have many long plays. If you do, they're going to be short and fraught with risk. You're going to have more short plays. That's just the nature of the way smart baskets are generated. If you have an event, there's more panic that's going to be associated to that event in a negative market or negative economic environment. So short baskets we can offer, and retail investors can take advantage of short baskets on the traditional side. Long baskets we are offering long baskets. That's part of our trade. That's part of the trade we're making for the investment club. It's going to be a short basket made up of short traditionals. Could be the financials, banks, it could be just the SPYs or the QQQs. Then on the other side of the trade, we've got a set of long components in this basket that have been curated by market researchers based on due diligence of the team, technology, and strategy, with VXV included. So baskets are certainly available. And in this environment that we're in right now, looking at an extended downturn, short baskets are going to be all the rage. We see this. We know this. We've seen it from a few other downturns. And now we're in the mother of all downturns. And this means the mother of all short opportunities. So we are certainly prepared for that. And we'll be taking advantage of that by offering institutions and retail the ability to short traditionals. One thing you'll notice with short baskets or shorting in general is that sometimes you'll see new regulations pop up around shorting, especially in economic times like these. But you'll also find that even though you'll receive short components in a basket on the traditional side, sometimes to short. And that's one slight disadvantage you have of executing short baskets. And the second part of that question, would this new environment make long baskets not far more attractive than short baskets? Okay, so the coronavirus basket, that's what we called it before the term COVID-19 existed. So this basket resulted in lots of different longs, lots of long opportunities in this basket, from NVAX to Guild to a few others. So there were long opportunities, long trades to be made in this COVID crisis time. So the secret sauce to baskets, smart baskets, would be the ability to take a smart basket of generated components and then filter them based on criteria, based on context, or based on context-controlled sentiment. This, so that you can create at least two classes or two groups that you can short and go long in one basket. So there might be companies that might falter or suffer because of a global pandemic. Then there might be companies that might excel or benefit from it, like we've seen. So creating that separation or those filters will make you more money. And of course, we have the results of the coronavirus basket, and SOBI will be generating a report for everyone on the long basket coronavirus COVID-19 performance. We also have a data sets insight section. So a lot of people still don't know the difference between data and a data set, and that's okay. This is a new world, and it's creeping up on everyone in terms of its exponential explosion and in opportunities. And data sets, like we've always said, first off, data is like the unrefined crude oil data sets, or like the gasoline or petroleum that power AI and ML systems. If you look at what we do, we provide the ability to augment a data set, in addition to providing a single data set which can be used to make predictions. But the data set augmentation part is especially important because it allows current data engineering pipelines or data scientists in the financial markets to take their time series data sets and append them with vector space natural language processing data sets, which will allow them to create new kinds of clusters and new classes and new correlations, or even reasons for causes for why things are correlated. So we're looking forward to that, and that's one of our selling points. Another important reason for data set augmentation, or taking an existing data set and appending a vector space natural language processing data set, also applies to life sciences and genomics. For example, if you've got genes or proteins that cluster together based on their expression values, you might want to know why they cluster together and in what context and how strong those relationships are based on scientific literature. And the only way to do that is to augment your gene expression data set with a natural language processing data set. And that's all we'll cover for data set insights. We'll have more next week. On the strategy side, we are still planning our data set design contest. And we'll go over more of that later. We're running out of time now. I'm going to see if I can close up the call here. But on the strategy side, we also have smart basket index funds. We're investigating, we're entering an extending downturn. So that really means that we've got a lot of short side ops. And creating these smart basket index funds for our internal investment club is going to be pretty important for us. We've completed the structure of that trade. I just have a note there on that. So we know how it's going to operate, and we know what it's going to consist of in terms of components on the traditional side, index or ETF components. After the Alpha Week article, we'll be inviting financial market customers to participate. This includes other funds, including crypto funds, to participate in the VectorSpace Medallion Fund, the investment club fund. We're thinking of a name for it. We're thinking of maybe Smart Basket Fund or Medallion Fund, maybe not. Unobtainium Fund, we don't know. But we'll solidify that and let everyone know as soon as possible. It's a form of branding as well. And with Smart Baskets, again, our ultimate goal is to enable anyone to position in a basket of cryptos and stocks with one click and buy and sell short, long, execution across crypto exchanges and traditional exchanges. We're going to have to phase this in, obviously. We're not going to be able to complete everything in one milestone here. So being able to offer the ability to position in a basket of cryptos across 15 exchanges, for example, with one click is going to be amazing, especially when you combine it with the algorithmic generation of a smart basket like you do with the traditionals. With VXV as a requirement for enabling access to these baskets, that's going to obviously give people something to talk about. But more so than that, it's based on the fact that every smart basket is going to contain VXV. VXV will be a component in every basket. So I'll close the call now. It's a pre-recorded call, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to post them online. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.